A reading from the 17th chapter of the Gospel of John, beginning at the first verse. When Jesus had spoken these words, he lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that the Son may glorify you, since you have given him authority over all flesh, to give eternal life to all whom you have given him. And this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. I glorified you on earth, having accomplished the work that you gave me to do. And now, Father, glorify me in your own presence, with the glory that I had with you before the world existed. I have manifested your name to the people, whom you gave me out of the world. Yours they were, and you gave them to me, and they have kept your word. Now they know that everything that you have given me is from you, for I have given them the words that you gave me, and they have received them, and have come to know in truth that I came from you, and they have believed that you sent me. I am praying for them. I am not praying for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours. All mine are yours, and yours are mine, and I am glorified in them. And I am no longer in the world, but they are in the world, and I am coming to you. Holy Father, keep them in your name, which you have given me, that they may be one, even as we are one. There's quite a fateful phrase tucked away in that reading. Jesus, when he's praying, prays and says that the hour has now come. Is there a more ominous phrase within the English language? The hour has come. It's something weighty, something life-changing. It is something fundamental which is afoot, because the hour has come. And these are the words of Jesus as he prays right in the shadow of the crucifixion. The disciples gathered there in the upper room. Throughout the gospel, he's been talking about the hour, but it's only here that the hour has come. Listen, you may remember in Cana, when the water is turned into wine, you may remember what Jesus said to his mother. Well, listen once more. Woman, what has this to do with me? My hour has not yet come. And so he was resisting the entreaties of Mary to turn the water into wine, which of course he then went on to do. And as Jesus taught in Jerusalem, the opposition was beginning to grow. We twice read this phrase, one in John 7 and then in John 8. Jesus was not arrested, quotes, because his hour had not yet come. And then the hour arrived, and its full horrific impact made itself felt to Jesus. Listen to these words. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? But for this purpose I have come to this hour. This hour was terrible in prospect. It was something which caused Jesus to shudder. But it was a path that had to be walked because it led to a better end. It led to a better place. And Jesus illustrates this as he says, when a woman is giving birth, she has sorrow because her hour has come. But when she has delivered the baby, she no longer remembers the anguish for joy that a human being has been born into the world. So it was, as Jesus was gathered into that upper room with his disciples, as the Son prayed to the Father, he prays that his hour has come. What does he say? Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that the Son may glorify you, since you have given him authority over all flesh, to give, this is the why, to give eternal life to all whom you have given him. And this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ whom you have sent. The prayer, you see, is revealing because it tells us quite why the hour had to come. It was so that eternal life may be granted to those who follow Christ. It wasn't to leave people in the same condition as before, but rather to lead them into something new, to lead them into something greater. The hour, the crucifixion, you see, leads to the resurrection, which leads to the ascension, which leads to Pentecost, which leads to the Spirit of God being poured out upon all the people of God, which leads to those who follow Christ being reconciled to the Father. The hour was something which brings benefits to us. The hour is something which brings eternal life. But what is eternal life? Well, Jesus describes it. He defines what eternal life is. And this is eternal life, he said, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. Now, it's important to understand that knowing is different from knowing about. I might know all about Venice. I might look at the maps. I might read the guidebooks. I might know all about something. But until I go to Venice, till I feel the breeze across the canals, I don't know Venice. I just know about Venice. This is what knowing is. It is something close. It is something real. It is something actual. Eternal life is knowing God. No longer knowing about God, but knowing God. A Victorian preacher preached on this passage a while ago, and I think I might just quote some of his words to you. It's Charles Spurgeon. "The Lord is not to be seen, neither can his footfall be heard, but to know God is to be conscious of his presence by an inward sense, which does both see and hear, to feel that he is everywhere, on the land or on the sea, and, knowing that he is there, to rejoice in being with him. In fact, to find great delight in this God, who is not far from any one of us, to be, let me put it very plainly, on speaking terms with him, to be so reconciled to him that you have no dread of him, no bondage and fear when you think of him." And then Spurgeon continues, "Then regard God as your best friend, whom you love, and in whom you delight, to whom you talk as naturally as you talk to friend or father, into whose bosom you pour your griefs, into whose heart you tell your joys. God is nearer than your most familiar friend, nearer to you than eyes and ears, nearer to you than your own body, for he gets within your soul, which your body can never do." This is what lies at the core of eternal life. It's a deep uniting knowledge of God, a quality as well as a quantity. Eternal life isn't just many long years. Eternal life is knowing God. And, as Jesus continued, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. Here is the path, you see, to this eternal life. Here is the path back to that knowledge of the Father, none other than Jesus himself. He is the good shepherd who leads us through the valley of the shadow of death, that we might come into the presence of God and know him. The hour has come. Those ponderous words, the hour has come, and Christ now offers out to each and every one of us eternal life. The hour has now come. Will you let the clock tick by?